It will seems like Rockstar getting infected with World DEI agenda before GTA6. How super lucky is that? And hello there, how's your day? I'm Ame Gakita there. And yes, today random chat we are gonna talk about Rockstar, the developer of all the Grand Theft Auto series, or even in the latest about the game or GTA6 itself. Now, although a lot of things I do gonna say kind of like a little bit of my speculative, I do take note that a lot of sources that do come from ENDYMION-san, it's actually do kind of like you have to, even though there's a lot of sources have a lot of research, you still have to take a lot of the information with a huge pinch of salt, and then you throw the salt at the screen if you need to. Because the one thing is that initially when I kind of like go around saying like, hey, Western game company, Western game company, Western game company, like in almost like all my random chat, I always kind of like give it a little bit of the word loosely, because I don't really want to go around saying like all the Western game company, considering that a lot of people love Grand Theft Auto series. Though I never love playing the game, to be said, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad game. It's just that, like I mentioned, it's not my cup of tea. That's not that I don't like to go around killing people in the game, but then people would say that, oh, it's kind of like give you a moment where you do this thing in a game, it's not real. But yeah, I'm just not into that kind of thing, to be honest. But even so, there is still a lot of fan base out there loving GTA 6, to the point that just because people love it doesn't mean that they are going around in real life shooting people down the convenience store or going steal people car along the line. It's just an American thing, apparently. So even so, right, having this kind of thing, it doesn't mean that the game don't have a huge fan base, and often more than people are going to like the game. Now, the only issue that making people not like the game, like I mentioned, just because I don't like it, it's just because it's my point of view. But now, ENDYMION's going to make it like, oh, there's even something new to make the game even more hated, apparently. But then again, I have to know one thing. I'm not really against DEI itself as a whole. The original DEI that is, okay, I'm not going to say that, hey, I'm a racist or whatever along the line. So the thing is, right, DEI itself had a very great cause. Like I mentioned, it always have a full of great cause. The only issue is people who benefit from it and then pushing their own agenda, ideology, stupid idea, whatever BS into games, that thinking they are all right all the time, when it's always against what many gamers or player want. Because when you kind of like having like questionable storyline, questionable thing into the game, obviously you'll be wondering like, is it even worth it? So if for now, if what ENDYMION-san actually say like, hey, GTA 6 got DEI or agenda within it, yeah, I'm gonna give it a wait and see approach, because I know that a lot of people are against DEI. I'm not blind, alright? I'm not even deaf at this point of time. Not yet. At least until when I get a little bit older in a few years, maybe I might become deaf and blind. But before that, it's really kind of like understanding that, hey, are we gonna say that is DEI a bad thing? No, it's just people who misuse it. That is the problem I have. Now, the one thing that I kind of like, when I was like watching the video, I do notice one thing. Apparently DEI in Rockstar itself is already infected like since 2001 to 2002, although there is like source indicating as early as 2020. Though I'm not sure how true is that, but with the date indicating as updated on 2022, I am more inclined to put as 21 or 22 within these these 2 years period. Now, what is DIB? Well, technically it's just basically DEI with a word B, but basically because they want to remove equity, because in a way they don't like equal or equity within a DEI, so, and as well as they want to make sure that they have a belonging behind this DEI BS or whatever. So in a way they decided to call it DIB with the word belonging, because it makes more sense that people is not to be left out. People have a belongings, apparently. Now, does that mean that belonging is a good thing in this whole damn thing? Well, when they call it DIB, I'm more towards to call it deep in BS at this point of time. But then again, I'm not going around attacking anyone, and I don't wish for anyone to attack this kind of thing, just because there is already apparently have like almost like 1 million plus learner for this kind of BS in this point. It doesn't mean that everyone should be against it. Well, I mean, like, if people like it, I'm not going to stop them, right? Why would we go around stopping people from understanding this kind of thing? But then again, when you kind of understand that why they have this sort of situation happening, yeah, I can see why now. So as well as I kind of like talk about it, right? That apparently people are paying thousands for this sort of lesson, and more so it's like they even have like people wanting them to go for a dinner just to confront about the racist belief over it, and I was like, no way is that true, right? How crazy are people are? Well, I guess that at this era where DEI is all over the world, yeah, I think it's really kind of like full of BS at this point of time, right? So at the end of the day, it's really kind of like back to the question, like, is DEI a good thing or not? Well, like I mentioned, it would be fine if we actually teach people about the DEI within game. We shouldn't be like forcing it upon game. It's just that how people are going to ensure that we don't be a racist person, we don't go around attacking just thinking about you having like so-called the white supremacy or whatever BS that is. Like, it's basically if they are against racism, I'm fine with that. Now that's the problem about this whole situation, because from what I hear based on their lesson, do they know the source I think is from all the video that you screen up there, so take that with a huge pinch of salt. That's the reason why I say you have to prepare the source, okay? Now, in what DIB, the one I think was the one who actually did the course was by a person called Stacy Gordon, and from what they're indicating, there is something called unconscious bias, which is basically something go like this: you're racist, you're a racist, everyone here is a racist except me. 2 thumbs up, yay. So it's really kind of like, what the heck is that even a thing? Because when you go around attacking people, saying that everyone is racist except you yourself, yeah, I more in time to say that that is just a fault of a quack teacher at this point of time. We're like, what the hell can actually attend this lesson? But apparently there's only 100 plus, like not 100 plus, it's 1 million plus people learning it. It's like, and if one person have to pay 1,000 for it, yeah, I can imagine, like, yup, that's really a good money making lesson, I would say. So the thing is, right, I'm not in time to go into this kind of lesson, especially more so when they say that there is like 58 white people and 2 ASEAN people from Rockstar attending the class. I'm like, yeah. When they say ASEAN, yeah, I guess I'm not yellow, I'm white. We are all white. And then we got the black, and then we are all playing a 4-dimensional chess where black versus white always been the thing. And always seems to be the reason why like chess is always black and white, huh? So at the end of the day, it's really back to the question, like when you kind of like understand the logic about people going around the idea saying like DEI is not really a thing. I mean, like it's really kind of like slowly integrated into like game company, like who know how long when, and DEI have been kind of like into people so-called alarm or notification in recent year or months, actually more so in 2024. But yet now that this sort of thing is already like been inside the game company since 2022, yeah, that's how deep this kind of like rabbit hole, or this kind of like actually more so like how the root of the DEI have been in like deep into the ground itself for who know how long when. Now the whole issue about this whole ordeal is that when actually like if JT-san never really did the question, and when they showcase the question itself, I'm in time to actually like, what the heck? Like there's something called unconscious bias. Is like they say like, what is something you can challenge or prevent group thinking? Like, why would you want to stop a discussion within a meeting, for goodness sake? I mean, like, sure, if there is like if there is the manager role, or people in the higher up is kind of being a jerk along the line that is trying to prevent having a proper conversation within a meeting or doing a discussion of how to create a game, yeah, then definitely we have to challenge them. But then when the question and the answer doesn't seem to indicate that you should be calling them out, you should be saying like, let them discuss. We are just minor. No, that's not right. The answer. There's gonna be the wrong answer. That's you have to be chat. That's not the answer. Like what the hell? What kind of era are we living where basically like DEI now saying like, hey, you know what? If your boss is being a jerk to you, then he's a racist along the line. Yeah, I guess that if the boss is white and you're a white, and then I guess you're racist against white racist against white. And then if your boss is black and then you are white, yeah, that's still racist, black against white. And now if you're a white boss and then you have a black employee and you try to be a jerk to your employee because the employee is being too nice to you, yeah, you're a racist along the line. Yeah, full of BS to the point I don't even understand why it's coming out of my mind at this point of time, right? So the thing is, right, it's really kind of like crazy that we are living in this kind of era where we kind of like have to see like this thing, like people have to attend this kind of lesson or being forced to attend this kind of lesson just to make sure that they can belong to a company. And what another thing that I'm more concerned is that apparently Rockstar are now hiring people who used to work in other game that was considered as what many people would call a flop. So I guess that at this point of time, we can definitely say that those people who, like all the game company who have failed on their so-called sales or games or having the game being called a flop or whatever along the line, and they got laid off, right? Yeah, don't worry, you can, there is the DEI department who will help you to find a job, and Rockstar is one of the company to being forced to hire you along the line. So make sure you have the DEI certificate, right? Yeah, I didn't know that was even, I don't even know that it was actually one of the certificate of that, right? So what made me even more concerned as well, it's not about that, it's actually more so that based on the report indicating that some of the so-called employee within Rockstar are actually so-called pushing DEI agenda even without indicating it. I mean, like they can say that they are on their so-called profile saying that, oh, they got they have like trying to ensure that DEI runs smoothly within like the industry or within Rockstar. But then again, when you kind of like having these kind of people saying like, hey, we are trying to be against racism, I think that's a good point. But when they start saying like, hey, we should be ensuring that the game have racism or what's not, and then we start saying that, hey, we are against it, or we are not against it, or whatever BS that is, right? Yeah, that's kind of like better question, like, is GTA6 gonna be a game that is gonna be full against all that, or people still gonna say that it's something along the line? Now, again, GTA6 is really one of the old franchise game, and normally I would again give everyone the answer, give it a wait and see approach. Don't go attacking and saying like, oh, it's full of wait or whatever BS. Sure, they may have already like DEI within their company, sure, but at the end of the day, I think that if a game have fun story or at least good animator in it with no agenda in it yet, hopefully, I mean, like, say copian or what, but if in future, if they start adding words like pronounce or agenda within it, or saying like transgender stuff, right, which seems that they are pushing for it, right? If they have those sort of thing in the game, then we can definitely say that, yep, it's full of that BS. But if not, I think it's still best to give it a wait and see approach, and then see whether if people who want to play the game or want the game itself to consider whether they want to go for the game. But if people say that there is no agenda and they still want to play the game because it's not yet full of that kind of BS, then I think it's fine for everyone, because everyone have their own choice, everyone have their own freedom to decide whether they want to buy the game or not. More so that GTA is also very popular in Japan as well. Now, at the end of the day, what is my verdict on this whole ordeal? Do I think that is DEI infected the Rockstar a very questionable thing? Yes, I do think so if they are going with a lot of agenda in it. But then again, I also hope that they don't push that kind of thing into the game they are releasing. And if they do add into the game itself, it's just adding more reason to why I should not buy the game, why I should hate the game along the line. And at the end of the day, it's still up to many other people to decide whether they want to buy the game or not. So if this is really one of the moments where a lot of gamers realize that it's full of those so-called woke DEI or BS along the line, yeah, people are going to be aware of it. People are going to know that it's going to be full of questionable tactic in the game. And to me, it won't be long before people start understanding this sort of thing and go against it. Now, at the end of the day, it is still technically my speculative thought. It's just a random chat. Whether you agree or disagree, whether you have your own point of view, whether you have your ideology or whatever you want to talk about, right in the comment section below, we can discuss it further. But if not, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about the stuff that sometimes makes sense, doesn't make sense, or just full of BS, depending on how you look at it. But the one thing that I hope is not random for you guys is have a nice day or night. Bye.